Hi everyone, it's Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. So I've been making and teaching how to make jewelry for a very long time now. And one of the things that I hear all the time is, you make it look so easy. Well, that's because I think it is. So I'm going to take some simple parts and some simple techniques, and I'm going to teach you how to make your very own jewelry. So if you want to see what I'm making today, come and join me. All right, so to make our project today, we're going to be using some 20 gauge titanium wire. I also have a beautiful pendant from Tiara Cast. I also have one of their larger bead caps. I have a bail. I've got this nice juicy piece of check glass, and it's this beautiful sapphire color. And this kit will come in 2 different colors, and I will show you the other colorway at the end. We're also going to be using some large hole, these are an agate bead, and these have a particularly large hole, so I'm going to be showing you a little trick with that. We will be using a little bit of this jewelry tube. I have 1.5 meters of 2mm leather. Normally with the large hole beads, we can only get 1.5mm leather in, but this, like I said, these are really large holes, so I can get up to 2 in there. And for our tools, of course, we're going to be using a barrel knot tube. And yes, I sell those. Everybody asks me all the time, do you sell those? So if you buy this kit, you will get one in there. If you want to buy them separately, you just go to the search bar and type in barrel knot tube. A few things will come up, but you'll see this, and we do sell them on our website. And for our tools, we're going to be using round nose pliers, bent chain nose pliers, regular pliers, and I guess they're called chain nose pliers. You know, like you would think after 20 years I would know what the word is, but all of a sudden I'm old and I'm like, what is that called? So that's a chain nose plier. And see, I told you I'm never editing anymore, so you're going to hear it just like that. And we also have a pair of cutters. So let's get started. You know, it just wouldn't be a Kelly video if I didn't make some goof ups, right? All right, I'm just going to sort of make some room here to get started. All right, I also, not that you need to know this, but I'm using some new glasses today, and they are progressives, and so everything looks kind of round, and I'm struggling, but she said it'll get better, so let's hope. All right, so I'm going to take my leather, and like I said, we have about 1.5 meters, and for those that don't know what a meter is, there's this really cool feature called Google, because that's another question I get all the time is, how much is in a meter? So it's 39.3 inches, but you know, you can also Google that. All right, so I'm going to find the very middle of that. So I just held the 2 pieces together. It's hard to do this all under camera. And then I just ran my fingers down until I got something that's fairly close to the middle. And I'm going to go offside that middle, like the middle's right there. And I'm going to go offside by like, you know, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And that's where I'm going to make my first barrel knot. So I'm going to sort of have my finger where I want my first barrel knot to be. So we're going to go around once, twice, 3 times, making nice, neat wraps, taking that same piece that I was wrapping around the tube, and I'm going to go through the tube, through the back, pull that out, and tighten that up. And I know you can't see anything because I've got my fingers there, but you need to keep your fingers on top of your barrel knots or else they will fall apart. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to take one of our large beads. So I think these are a 10mm. Yeah, I believe these are 10mm white, what do we call these? White lace agate. All right, so I'm going to put that first bead on there, and then I'm going to do another barrel knot. Now you're going to kind of have to angle your tube on the other side of it because you don't want to make your barrel knot way down here. It'll be really hard to push it down. So I try to get it as close to that bead as possible. And then that way we have a little nicer looking wrap, because you know, if you're moving these around, sometimes they will misshape, and if it does, just take it apart gently and make it work. All right, so now you can see I can push it right up towards the bead, and if it's not going the way that I want it to, I just kind of adjust it in my fingers, and you can see I'm going fairly slow, and we've got that. So now I'm remembering that I'm working on the opposite side to the middle, so the longer piece is going to be over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch that around. and I am going to put my little bail on here because we just want to make sure that we leave room for that bail. Okay, so now I'm going to do another barrel knot on the other side of the bail. So go once, twice, 3 times, and take the end that I was working with and go through the back side of the tube, pull that through. Now you don't want to have this like jammed in there tightly. You want to sort of have it nestled next to that bail, but I don't want to have it jammed in there. So like I'm not pushing it tight. So I'm pushing the knot tightly, but not next to it tight. Like I want to have it free floating in there a little bit. And now we're going to put on our next bead. This piece comes together really simple and really, really fast. So, all right, so I'm going to put my tube on top there and go 1, 2, 3, and then take that end, go through the back side. Now, for all you people that are doing craft fairs this summer, this would be a really great piece. It's simple. People really like, you know, what I find that they seem to really like simple pieces. So this is just, you know, leather and beads and a little bit of flourish in the front. All right, so now we're going to build the pendant part of it. So I'll just put this up here and move the barrel knot tube out of the way. All right, so now I need about 6 inches or so of the wire, and I'm going to give that a cut. And now I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, the things that I forgot what the name of them was, and I'm going to go to the top, and I'm just going to bend away about, that's about 1.5 inches. So now I am going to go to towards the bottom of my round nose pliers. I don't want to have a little teeny tiny baby loop, and I don't want to have a big gigantic one. So I just want to have it big enough that it's going to go through the loop of the pendant. So up and around and over, and then I just make sure that it's, you know, ending up something like that. Now this heavy gauge wire can be a little bit hard to get into holes and things like that. So I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers and just kind of push that up a little bit. And you can see that that just sort of opened it up. And now when I take our pendant, it will just slip in there easily. I know sometimes I just use my nail, but I don't always find that that's a perfect way of doing it. Sometimes it will misshape your loop. So that's just a little trick you can do. All right, so I'm gonna go around once, twice, and then I'm just going for that bulky wrap thing. Now, if it doesn't go the way that you want it to, which mine just didn't, I'm just gonna grab hold of the end of that. And that's what these bent chain nose pliers are great for. And then just pull it back into the placement that I want. There. So sometimes you just have to make it go where you want. So this one really got a bad start. You can see it's really going all over the place. So I'm just gonna make it do what I want. I'm just gonna push that around until I'm happy with the way that it looks. And right there, it's kind of, it just does not want to lay properly. So let's just call it a day. Trim that off. And then now I can kind of refine that and make it look a little bit nicer. Sometimes wire just has a mind of its own and it will just go in whatever direction it wants. But now you can see that looks perfectly fine. Okay, so next we are going to put on our beautiful piece of check glass. I use these in a lot of my projects because, one, we have a lot of them, and I think they're exquisite. And did I say 2? Okay, well, now we'll go to 3. They don't make them anymore. So I just think it's a shame to leave them sit in bins, so I'm going to use them. And I think they're just gorgeous. So now I'm going to put on this beautiful scalloped bead cap. Now, I have these large hole beads, like I mentioned, and I want to put it on top of here. But I found that it was just like, it didn't sit right because you can see like there's lots of room in there. There's lots of play. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have bead aligners. So what am I going to do? Well, we just cleared out all of this. I think we have one tube left or one bunch left. But I thought what we could do is try this. So I'm going to just take a little piece of it. So this is just a 2mm jewelry tube. And if you want more, let me know and I can always bring it in for you. It may not be this price still because this is a really old one. But I know that you can barrel knot this. So if you're vegan and you wanted to do something other than leather, you can actually, make barrel knots with it. It's great for putting memory wire in. But for today, what we're going to do is we're going to use it as a bead liner. So, and you will get this in your kit. I'll give you, just under an inch, and you would cut it in half. So we're just going to scoot that down. And then now when I put my bead on, it's perfect. It doesn't wibble around because I made my sample and I just wasn't happy with the way that it was laying on there. It just didn't look right. So now with that little bit of a bead liner in there, it is perfect. So, I'm always about solving problems. And sometimes with jewelry making, that's exactly what it is. It's problem solving. It's like, okay, well, I want to do this, and how am I going to get that to work? Now, I need to make sure that my loop is going in the right direction for this, the way that this bail is going. So I need this to be going in this direction. So I'm going to bend backwards, and I'm going to make another loop. So now you'll find it's a little bit harder to get that in there, but you just kind of, boss it around, make it do what you want. And up and around and over, and make sure that is sitting nicely on top there. And again, we're going to just open that up ever so slightly. I'm not bending it very much, just a little bit, so that when I go to put it through this loop, it just slips in there nice and easily. And then I just turn it over so that all the pendant part is to the left. And then I'm going to wrap it up. And I want to do a nice bulky wrap. So you might end up with a few more wraps on the top than on the bottom one because you've got a little more space or a neck up here. But, it doesn't matter at all when you're making jewelry. Nobody's ever going to say, well, you know what? You've got 2 wraps down there and 3 at the top. So just make it look nice and nobody will notice anything like that. Well, I might because, I'm crazy like that. But most of the time, it does not matter. All right. Get in there. And I'm just pushing that burr down a little tiny bit. Sometimes when you push it down, it will go, it'll go to a bad place, which mine just started to do. So I'm just going to leave well enough alone. All right. So I'm getting rid of the rest of my tools here. So now this is what we've got so far. Look how cute that looks. So I wanted to keep it nice and simple for the top. Now this is my biggest video ever, has almost 2 million views, and it's on how to tie these sliding knots. But they seem to perplex people all the time. So we're going to keep this really simple. So now the nice thing about a sliding knot is you can then make this however long you want. So you can make it the sliding knot at the very top, and then you can shorten this up so you could have a long necklace or a short necklace. Or you could trim this off and make it so that it's, just a little bit shorter. So you kind of have to experiment a bit with the length on this. And I can't really tell you where you want to put this because everybody's going to want it at a different length. So I will simply show you how to make one, and then you can go from there. Okay, so we're going to take our piece so put it towards you so that you can remember your left and rights here. And so I've just got I'm looking at the front, and I've got one piece of leather coming off my left. And I'm just going to bend that back about 3 inches or so. Then I'm going to take my right piece of leather, trying to make this so you can see. And then I'm going to place it underneath that little bent piece. So now it kind of almost looks like we have 3 pieces of leather, but all I've got is that top one bent, and I'm going to place the same amount underneath. Okay, so now it looks like we've got 3. So now I'm going to take this innermost one and start wrapping it around. So I'm going to do that a little tighter so that you can actually see what I'm doing there. Okay. So now I'm just going to wrap it around, and I'm working towards my right hand. So they're a little bit different than my barrel knots. So I want to go 3 times, and this is almost impossible to do under the camera and talking and all those kind of things. So let's get this going here. Okay. I got to go around about 3 times. And you can always pull off a little more leather than I have. And then you're going to go down through this loop here. So I want to get that to go down inside there. And then I grab hold of that, and then I just pull it. So I'm pushing and pulling. I'm pulling this piece, and I'm pushing this piece up. So it might require a couple, back and forth sort of things. There we go. So now you can see that that is how hard that was. That's not hard at all. And that does move around. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is turn the piece over. And if I was to line this up, let's see if I can show you. You can see, I'll try to show you here. This is now where it lines up, so it's offset. So I want to make sure whatever I leave in here is equidistant. So it's a little bit of like, playing around. So I'm going to pull this a bit because I have to pull it out 3 inches. And again, I always do things like this that are really hard to show under camera. So I'm trying to even this out in my lap so that I can show you. So now you can see that I would want to make my next knot right about here so that that kind of works out right. But that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to like pull it up a little bit more and try to get that. Let's see, I'll go back that way. Because you want to have it even or else it's going to look a little wonky. So I'm just playing with it until I get it to where it sort of evens out a bit here. So I might have to pull that up a bit more. And again, just working until it's sort of even. All right, so that should be about even there. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly like I did on the other side, in that I'm just going to bend it across. So now again, it looks like we've got 3 pieces, but I've just got 1 piece of leather here that I'm bending over top of the existing one. So you're just going to bend it over like that, and then go around once, twice, 3 times. And then I just go down through that leather. I know sometimes it's hard to see with my fingers. I'm doing my very best to try to keep them out of the way. So it's that push and pull thing. And there we go. And you want to make these fairly tight because you don't want them to come undone. And so now you can see that when you pull it together, you have your knots that meet, and then you've got to pull them apart. Now, I get lots of people saying, well, I can't pull them apart. And that's because the leather needs to be broken in a little bit. So what I really suggest when you're doing this is don't pull it so tight that those knots get just slammed up next to each other. Just, it has to get broken in a little bit. And now what you can do is you can trim off the ends, or you can tie them in a little knot or whatever. You do not want to put glue on this because then they won't slide. So you want to make sure that those are super tight before you do any trimming. And then if you want, so you can see, like, here's the beginning of the necklace. We're going all this way, and there's the end. So I made this really, really long. And I just give you a lot of leather so that if you're a plus size person, or if you want to wear this really long, you can. But in reality, you're probably going to remove quite a bit of that. But the other thing that you can do is you can pull this apart. And I'll just kind of make it a little bit smaller. So now, I mean, that's probably too much leather. So I would think that, you can cut off a bit of that. But again, I just want to make sure that you've got enough. But you can see now, if I wear it like this, those knots become like a design feature. They're sort of shown in the front. So now we've got a much smaller necklace. And what you need to make sure when you're making that, the knots, is that this is going to fit over your head. So it's fully adjustable once it's on your neck. So I hope that made sense. You just want to try to even these out the best you can so that they look a little bit like they're equidistant. Now, if you make this and then you think, oh goodness, that is still too long, I'm just not happy with the way that it lays because it's too long, you can just simply undo these knots, and then you can cut off a little bit, trim a bit of the leather, and you can start again. Just don't go too crazy. Okay, so I'm just going to show you both pieces that are completed here. All right, so there you go. There's the completed pieces. This one is the, of course, antique bronze with the sort of it's not quite clear, but it has the Picasso finish on it. And then we've got the antique gray leather. And then this is the silver that I was working on, and you will get it with the blue and the antique brown leather. So you'll have 2 different kits to choose from. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I absolutely love wearing this one. It's one of my favorites. I made it a few years ago, but with a different pendant. And it's just one of those classics that never goes out of style. So if you did enjoy it, please make sure to give me a like, leave me a comment, as I do love to hear from everybody. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you do so. I want to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.